Kara, I thought I told you to stay out of trouble.
Who, me? I'm not in trouble. And by the way, it's Supergirl. See? Supergirl.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with NewsStand, and today we are going to take a look at Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Now, this just came out yesterday and is written by Tom King, and the art is absolutely beautiful. The art is from the person that did the Dreaming, and I loved the Dreaming art, at least, so I'm glad to see them crossing over into the main continuity of DC. It is by Bill Quest Evely, and the colors are by Mathis Lopes. Now, I wish they had maybe chosen a different colorist. It was very mute in the way that it was presented, and it didn't really do justice to the actual art, but also the setting that they were in makes it seem a little bit like maybe things will pop later on. So I'm hoping so. We're going to go through this, but it is by Tom King. So what I want to say here, and I listened to a couple reviews before this, and one specifically was by Thinking Critical, saying, this is Supergirl in name only. Okay, well, here's the thing. When Supergirl gets canceled, and over again, you see her as a cookie cutter of Clark Kent. Really, there's not a whole lot of difference besides gender, right? Maybe they need to give her something a little different. Now, this is a little different, and I actually think it was really well done. I liked it a lot. It's definitely a recommend. And, it's only a recommend if you sort of enjoy Tom King's style. He has his own style, right? He can take a character and humanize them to a point where they feel like they would fit into your world, even though none of this would fit into our world. That's what he does, and he's doing it with Adam Strange also, which I have been really, really enjoying, and he did it with Vision. Most importantly, he did it with Mr. Miracle, and that, I will say it over and over again, is probably my number one graphic novel ever. Either that or Kingdom Come, but one of the two. They're very, very close. So I love that story. So I always give Tom King a chance because of that story. I didn't care for his Batman, but only towards the end. In the beginning, it was really good. So we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to critique it, but it's definitely like very close to probably a 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. So we get a backstory. And the girl that's actually talking her name is Ruth. And she's really cute by the end. I like her. She's telling the story of her father, who had left basically a man come and needed help. And when he needed help, her father, of course, said yes. Yeah, I have no problem helping you. Well, it was a King's agent, and he came in and he killed him. And now Ruth wants to get justice or vengeance for her father. But he left this sword. And this sword's oddly important because it was left as sort of symbolic to the fact that I came and killed this, and I don't care about this expensive sword. Obviously, he could have taken it with him, but it didn't matter to him that much. So she's got a bunch of brothers, and they're all kind of arguing who is going to take vengeance, and she knows it's all just stories. It's not actually anybody going to do it. I love her eyes, by the way. The coloring of her eyes, absolutely beautiful. At first, I was like, girl needs some Visine, but then I got used to it. So her mother's sad, of course, right? And she, they're out on the balcony talking, and she's like, she doesn't necessarily say don't go and get vengeance for my husband, but she does say, it's probably not smart. Maybe you should do what your brothers are doing and be inclined to go in that direction instead of going by way of vengeance because, I don't think she's necessarily a little girl, but she's definitely very young. So we see her head off, and she is absolutely, I love this, little magical creature here. Like, yeah, it's a horse, but is it? She's off to find somebody to take that vengeance, and she's going to pay them by that sword that was left behind. And the first person that she finds, she sought him out. She knows that he's ruthless. She knows that he's tough. She knows that he will get the job done. And she says, look at the quality of this sword. I've traveled. I want to, after the job is done, that's very important. After the job is done, I want to pay you with this sword. It is worth that much, right? And he's like, well, that's not going to work. That is not going to work because I'm going to take this sword now. And she's like, no, you're not going to take this sword now. This is the only thing I have left. This was my father's blood on here, the last of his blood he will ever have. And he's like, well, listen closely. I'm going to teach you a lesson. And he just slaps her across the face. And I thought that part was really, really well done. Like, I read through using guided view, so I didn't see it ahead of time. And I was just like, what? Oh my God. So he's like, remember that. I will do it, but this is my sword now. So that's when Kara intervenes. And this has a red sun, this planet they're on. And Kara specifically goes here for her 21st birthday so she can get a little drunk. Like, it's her birthday. Let her fucking celebrate. So she's like, no, you're not taking this sword. I don't know what you're thinking. You're not taking the sword from the girl. And he's like, yeah. Yes, I am. Right? Like, I love this face right here. Oh my God. It's so cute. But she's like, that's the truth, just in the American way. I'm 21. I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to get the sword back from you. I love it. It's too cute. So, I also don't mind that Kara, it has a little bit of a filthy mouth here because, I do too. So it doesn't bother me at all. But, she's like, hold on, I got to put the bottle down. I don't steal because it's wrong, but I don't want to spill my liquor. So she hits him across the face and we see him, kind of go into this whole little fight sequence where he doesn't realize, who she is. And she gets him down. I love it. So next morning, Ruth takes her back and she's like, who's fuck? Is this your husband? You keep saying this word. I think it's blotted out, but I'm assuming. She's like, no, I'm going to throw up. She's like, well, you're not going to throw up. That's all you've been doing. I don't know how you possibly could. So she asked her about her underwear, thinking that the Supergirl outfit is her underwear. She grew up with brothers. She's never seen, other women's underwear. Like, I find her cute, like silly and not knowing. And I like that about her personality. So she asks her, right, if she will be the one to go after, I think it was Krem. I believe that was his name. That killed her father. She's like, please, he had, nothing. I will give you this sword. It's worth a lot here on this planet. She's like, no, I only came here to get drunk. I came here because it has a red sun. And I don't kill. I don't kill at all. But from the beginning, we do know that, it kind of did a flashback or a flash forward. And we do know that Kara does end up killing. So I'm curious to see how that's all going to go down. But she says, that would be the end of it had I let her go. But I didn't let her go. And she dives in to this river and she swims all the way across. Now there's a lot of exposition here. I'm not going to go through it all because I think you should read it. But she finds Kara, right? And she's in her spaceship. She's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. Why are you here? Why did you follow me? She's like, yeah, I kind of, didn't know what to say. Your clothing arrangements, this big machine, I don't know what it is. She's like, it's not from here. I have to get home. Think of it like my horse. And if you don't move, I already turned autopilot on or auto start. It's gonna kick you. You have to get back. She's like, I fucking love it. My name is Ruth. I would like to hire you. Like she does it like 4 times. She's like, God damn it. I know you're Ruth. I know you want to hire me. And she's like, you don't understand, not knowing Kara's backstory, of course. She's like, I didn't just lose somebody. I lost my father. He'll never walk me down the aisle. He'll never do this. And it's really sad. This girl just wants to get, vengeance for her father, or justice, whatever you want to call it. So she's like, be compassionate, do this. She's like, she does end up telling her, I lost my world, right? That was her world, her father. So, she starts crying, it gets her, but then, she gets hit in the chest, and it does go through because they're on the red sun. It doesn't obviously kill her because she's still relatively, strong, but because they're on the red sun, it does penetrate her. So this is Krem, the one that killed her father. I'm hoping that's his name. I know one of the two are. And that's the bounty hunter she was going to originally hire, but he actually found the king's agent and brought him here. So, they go off on Kara, right? And she gets pissed. She gets really mad. She's like, don't you know who I am? I'm Supergirl. And she goes up to him. She's like, I don't give a shit about your swords. I don't give a shit about your arrows. I'm fucking Supergirl. Like, I love that part in it. So she starts, beating him up, right? She didn't kill them or anything, but she does definitely start beating them up. And, while she's got, a bunch of swords and, or a bunch of arrows in her chest, and it doesn't matter. So the one takes off, and, Ruth does try to stop him, but to no avail. And that's okay. So in the process of trying to stop him, he gets on board and it takes off. And that's the end. Yeah, except for it's not. I left out a little bit because I want to, you may have seen it. That is the basis of it. But there was one part I specifically left out because it is heartbreaking, and I'm hoping he comes back. So spoilers, if you're really not going to, it does look like Krypto is dead. And I don't know why Tom King would do that right away, because Krypto is such a great character to have alongside of Supergirl. I'm hoping that, even though he's under the red sun and he's hit with a bunch of arrows and he's laying there and he's whimpering and he looks like he's dead, for some reason he does come back. I'm hoping it's just a kind of a cliffhanger, right? Because I love Krypto. So we'll have to wait and see, though. I don't know how this fits into main continuity. I think it's all a little bit of kind of up in the air with the Omniverse, and not a whole lot being explained yet with Infinite Frontier. But I am thinking that it probably will be, an Elseworld story, just because, I don't know. We saw Batcat as an Elseworld story. That was made clear that was Elseworld. So I'm thinking this will be too. So we'll have to wait and see. But even so, definitely a recommend. Definitely a good beginning. But I understand a lot of people's apprehension when it comes to Tom King, and seeing, Tom King on top of Krypto. It's like, but I'm going to give it another chance. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.